Hi guys, we are going to do some homework together. Today I'm doing the BJU Press Pre-Algebra section 1-1, which is titled Opposite and Absolute Value. I'm going to do the homework problems that I assigned to you, and you can use this to check your homework, or if you have any questions, hopefully it will help. So we're on page 5 in the book. And we're going to do number 1. The natural numbers consist of all the blank integers. Our answer here is positive. Number 2, the integer blank is neither positive nor negative. The only one not positive or negative is 0. The set of integers is indicated by the symbol. It's this crazy fancy looking Z that looks like that. Number 4, the opposite of a positive integer is a negative integer. Number 5, the absolute value of every non-zero integer is a positive integer. Number 6, draw a number line and graph each point on the line. So when I'm looking at these numbers 6 through 9, I see the numbers that they want me to draw are between -4 and +3. So I'm going to just draw a number line. When you draw your number line, make sure you always have arrows at either end. I'm going to write in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then -1, -2, -3, -4. I did that just because I was looking at the numbers that they wanted me to graph. Number 6, A, would be at 3. So we're going to draw a point there and we're going to label it A. B is -3. This is number 7. Oh, let's put number 6. This is number 7. Number 8 would be 2, and that is point C. And then number 9 is D, -4 down here. Okay. Moving right along. Next, we're going to do numbers 10 through 36 even. Number 10, directions say state the opposite of each number. Number 10, opposite of 8 is -8. Number 12, opposite of -4.5 is +4.5. Number 14, directions change. Find each absolute value. Remember, whatever's inside the absolute value, you're just going to say positive, just going to keep it positive. So absolute value of -7, this is +7. Number 16, absolute value of 0, 0. Number 18, new directions. Compare using less than or greater than. So number 18, we're comparing 9 to -3. 9, a positive 9, is greater than -3. Number 20, we're comparing -4 to 2. I'm actually not going to put that line in there anymore because this makes it look like greater than or equal to, which is not what I'm going for. Something different there. So compare with a less than or a greater than. -4 is less than +2. Number 22, absolute value of -5 compared to 1. This one might be a little tricky considering that they've got the negative in there, but remember you're comparing the absolute value of -5, which is actually 5. So you're comparing 5 to 1, which means your answer is greater than. Down to number 24. Order the integers from least to greatest using the less than symbol. we've got the numbers integers 1, -3, and 0. The smallest one is -3. The next one is 0, and the next one is 1. So they're just asking you to write a number sentence there using the less than symbol. Same idea for number 26. The smallest integer here is -17, which is less than -9, which is less than -5, which is less than -3. Number 28, we're going to order the integers from greatest to least using the greater than symbol. So it's actually the same type of directions, it's just we're going the opposite way now. So we're going to start with the bigger one, which means we need to use the greater than symbol in our number sentence. So number 28, out of your numbers, your integers -2, -5, and 3. The largest one is 3, which is greater than -2, which is greater than -5. Number 30, same direction. So we're going to start with the largest integer, which is 6. That's greater than 2, which is greater than -2, which is greater than -7. All right, moving right along. Number 32. Evaluate each expression. So what's written here is read as the opposite of -13. So the negative in front, I would read as the opposite of -13. My answer here is +13. Number 34, the opposite of the absolute value of 6. So I need to take a look at the absolute value part first. The absolute value of -6 is 6. So that's what this part is saying. However, I still have that opposite in front. So this time my answer is -6. Number 36. Absolute value of 17 minus 9. So we have to do that work inside the absolute value first, which is just a subtraction problem. 17 minus 9 gives us 8. We still have absolute values around it until we deal with the absolute values. So now that I've done that subtraction problem, I know I'm really doing the absolute value of 8. So my answer is 8. Number 38. Define opposite numbers. Opposite numbers are located the same distance from 0 on the number line but in opposite directions. Okay, next section we're doing 38 straight through 44. So I got to get 39 here. Number 39, define the absolute value of a number. So absolute value is number's distance from 0 on the number line. I'm just going to abbreviate number's distance from 0 on the number line. Number 40, the absolute value of a, let's read the directions. Classify each statement as always, sometimes, or never true, and explain your reasoning. So number 40, the absolute value of a number is negative, never. Never. The absolute value we just discussed in number 39 is the distance away from 0 on a number line. You can never go a negative distance. They're always positive. Number 41. The absolute value of an integer is positive. Ooh, this one might get you held up. It's actually sometimes. And the reason is because of the 0. 0 is an integer. 0 isn't considered negative or positive. So that's why we have to answer it sometimes, all because of that 0. The opposite of the absolute value of an integer is not negative. Number 42, the opposite of the absolute value of an integer is not negative. Oh, the 0 is going to throw it in here again. So this is a sometimes. The reason is it is negative for all integers except 0, because you can't have a negative 0. Okay, let me see here. We got to go all the way up to 44, and I'm on 43. So my computer is doing something over here. Okay, so number 43. Essential question, how do the absolute values of positive integers compare? Oh, opposite integers. How do the absolute values of opposite integers compare? Well, they are equal, because we know when we defined opposites earlier, which happened to be back on number 38, opposites are located the same distance from 0 on the number line. That means they're going to have the same absolute value, which is, what is the distance from 0 on the number line? So they are equal. Number 44. What assumption is necessary for number lines to be useful? Well, in order for number lines to be useful, we have to assume that our world is an orderly place. Assume our world is an orderly place, which we know it is. That's how God designed it. That's why math is so cool, because math is possible because of God's design. All right, we're going to move on. Number 46 and 47. A team exploring a shipwreck 210 feet below the ocean's surface uses a submarine 100 feet below the surface, a diver at the shipwreck, and a support helicopter 260 feet above the ocean's surface. Write integers that represent the elevation of the diver, submarine, and helicopter. Okay, so let's see. Let's write down here 46A. The diver.
Mom, why do you have to say it?
The diver, I'm recording, Chloe. The diver is at negative 210. The submarine is negative 100. And the helicopter, they told us, was at 260. Letter B, which of these objects is closest to the surface? This would be the submarine, because the ocean would be where you would consider 0 on the number line. They're measuring from the surface of the ocean. Submarine is 100 feet away, closer than 210, negative 210 or positive 260. Number 47, the latitude at the equator is 0 degrees. Positive latitudes are north of the equator, while negative latitudes are south of the equator. Carlos lives in Bolivia at a latitude 16 degrees south of the equator, and Pedro lives in Nicaragua at a latitude 12 degrees north of the equator. State an integer that represents the latitude of each boy. Number 16, letter A, so Carlos would be negative 16, and Pedro would be 12. B, which boy lives farthest from the equator? Carlos would be the farthest. You could consider his absolute value being 16, and that's how you know which is greater or farther than Pedro's, which is only 12. Okay, almost done, guys. So we're going to do number 48 through 52 even. Number 48, evaluate each expression and then order the values from least to greatest using the less than symbol. So I'm going to take a second here to copy down what we're dealing with. We've got absolute value of 2. Then we've got the opposite of the absolute value of negative 2. Then we've got the absolute value of 2 minus 2. And finally, we've got the absolute value of 2 times 2. So, absolute value of 2 is 2. The opposite of the absolute value of negative 2 would be negative 2. The absolute value of 2 minus 2 would be 0. And the absolute value of 2 times 2 is 4. Now we just need to put them in order, least to greatest, using the less than symbol. Negative 2, which is less than 0, which is less than 2, which is less than 4. All right, number 50. So we've got the absolute value of 6 plus 3. We've got the absolute value of 6 minus 3. We've got the opposite of the absolute value of 6 times 3. And we've got the opposite of the absolute value of 6 divided by 3. Okay, so the absolute value of 6 plus 3 is 9. The absolute value of 6 minus 3 is 3. The opposite of the absolute value of 6 times 3 is negative 18. And the opposite of the absolute value of 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Let's put these in order. Least to greatest, negative 18, which is less than negative 2, which is, oops, I put a comma in there. Let me see if I could get back here. Which is less than 3, which is less than 9. One more to go, number 52. We've got classify the following as always, sometimes, or never true. If A is less than B, then the absolute value of A is greater than the absolute value of B. Explain your reasoning. This is a sometimes. Sometimes. It is true if both A and B are negative, and it's false if both A and B are positive. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully that was helpful for you today. Have a good afternoon.